A somewhat rare treat for Tranmere, who've had their fair share of first-day disappointments in recent years. Robbie Weir's first senior goal helped buck the trend against newly promoted Chesterfield. Another throw almost led to a second, Andy Robinson and Adam McGurk combining to set up Lucas Akins. But despite the miss, a result that Les Parry described as perfect.
Doncaster Rovers only had 14 fit players going into the game against Tranmere, but were gifted the perfect start when James Coppinger was upended by Zumana Bakayogo. Penalty kick. New signing Chris Brown stepped up to convert, scoring his first goal for Rovers since a loan spell in 2004. The second goal again involved Brown, who found Ryan Mason. The Spurs loanee took his time before finishing clinically. In truth, the South Yorkshire side could have been further ahead as they missed several chances, but there was no doubt about the third. Kyle Bennett's curler on debut, the exclamation mark on the performance as the Championship side progress.
Tranmere Rovers ended Leyton Orient's hopes of a playoff place last season with a 3-0 win in this fixture, so revenge would have been on the minds of the home fans, and Dean Cox almost gave them the lead when stinging the palms of Owen Fon-Williams. The only goal came with half an hour remaining, David Buchanan scoring with a quite stunning strike on his Rovers debut, only a second ever senior goal for the 25-year-old, and certainly one to remember. Les Parry's side maintained their 100% start to the season.
Martin Allen described Nott's performance in the defeat to Charlton at the weekend as pretty pants. This was a lot better. But it was Tranmere who went ahead through John Welsh with a cracker from a corner. Tranmere played some rough stuff in the first half. Ricky Ravenhill was knocked out in this incident and had to be stretchered off. In the second half, football was the winner. Julian Kelly volleying home what Allen called their best performance since he's been the manager. Notts rode their luck though when Tranmere's Adam McGurk hit the post. The ball hit the back of the keeper but didn't go in. At the other end, Tranmere weren't as lucky, Christian Pearce hitting the bar and the keeper on the way to the back of the net. Tranmere equalised through a Joss Labadie free kick to set up an exciting last 10 minutes, especially as the visitors went down to 9 men. First, David Raven was sent off for a second bookable offence, and in injury time he was followed down the tunnel by David Buchanan, who handled on the line. That meant in the 7th minute of injury time, Jeff Hughes could win the game for Notts. Jeremy Nicholas, East Midlands Today.
Both managers agreed that this would be the biggest test so far for their respective clubs. Tranmere with 6 points from 9 up against a Sheffield United side with a perfect record. A peach of a goal from captain Nick Montgomery sent United to the break on top. Blades boss Danny Wilson was full of praise for the way his side dug in after that, but on one of the few occasions they got caught, substitute Joss Labadie made sure they paid for it.
Tranmere's best start for 4 years continued thanks to goals either side of the break, and winger Andy Robinson was heavily involved in both. He set at the first after clever play and a deep cross allowed Robbie Weir to head home at the far post. It was the first goal the Bees had conceded at Griffin Park this season. They had plenty of possession and were almost rewarded when Gary Alexander's looping effort beat Rovers keeper Owen Fon-Williams, but not the woodwork. Rovers began the second half like they had their season, with no nonsense. Fon-Williams' thumping kick was headed by Carly Osborne into the path of Robinson, who sealed the points from long range. The local boy enjoying his first ever campaign, in which Rovers are amongst the pace setters.
In general, I think we didn't compete it strong enough, especially in midfield. There was 3 in midfield, we was 2. It was difficult for the lads, but still they won too many duels from clearances and established play in our half, and Tranmere, they deserve to win today.
Tranmere are through to the second round. They beat Port Vale on penalties. The home side had a penalty awarded in normal time. Mustafa Tiayaki tripped by Clayton MacDonald. Mark McChrystal took the penalty and missed it. Well, Port Vale took the lead shortly afterwards. Lewis Haldane's shot parried by Owen Fon-Williams. Rob Taylor scoring the rebound. Sadly, the game was held up when Haldane suffered a serious leg injury just there. He lay on the ground for some time. before eventually being carried off on a stretcher. Well, with 2 minutes left, Tranmere equalised. Martin Devaney's cross, headed in by Ash Taylor. And so we went to pens, and it was Taylor who put Tranmere through. 4-2 in the end. Vale out.